Today we are starting the cleanup of our water damage that we had from the flood a couple of weeks ago. And so we're down here on the east side of the fence, and we are going to basically cut the fence, hook a chain up to the skid steer, and drag it, I guess, up this way or out in the open or something, so we can roll this wire up into a roll or whatever, and then we're gonna get all the T-post out of it, and then that will allow us to bring in the Ferguson with a bush hog on it to mow all this stuff down so we can see any potential snakes or whatever that are in here, give us some confidence when we're working in here. And then once we get all this mowed down, then I'll bring the blade in and we'll smooth all this stuff out, and then we can see where we're working to actually start putting some T-posts in, maybe by the end of the week. That'd be really great. And I got an awesome assistant. I'm gonna tell her what to do. Let's get to cutting fence. All right, here we go. So when she cuts this, she's probably gonna try to cut one wire at a time, because that wire is pretty stout for somebody to cut both at the same time. This is where we're gonna splice our pipe. We're gonna put a pipe in here, and then we're gonna put in another pipe or an H-brace. I haven't quite decided here where the fence is laid down. And then another H-brace over here. So if and when this happens again, we can support our fence. And then instead of putting the wire 18 inches off the ground, I'm gonna put it maybe 22 inches off the ground, somewhere in there, and then hang rocks down to cover up the bottom piece. That way we can, basically what we're gonna do is try to build a water gap. And that way the water will just go underneath, move the rocks out of the way without taking out the fence, getting all the debris caught on the wire, because if there was no debris, it would have been fine. It's the fact that you get the weight of all of this trash here gets super heavy, and the fence just can't handle that. So that's what we're gonna do. We're also going to take the skid steer and the Ferguson, and we're gonna break this bank up just a little bit. That way there's not this whoop, and we'll get rid of that dip and give it a lot flatter spot to come off on. All right, how are we doing on cutting wire?
Gotten 2 or 3 done. This will be the second.
All right.
Strand.
That wire is tough. It really is.
I don't have any upper body strength. It's not helping.
Well, you hang out with me, and you'll be strong. All right, so we got the wire cut, and I made a small little loop here with the fence and wrap the chain around it, and then we're gonna hook it to the back of this skid steer. I'm gonna turn around and we're gonna drag it uphill. And our goal is basically, like I said before, to get all of this stuff out of the way so we can find the T-posts and turn you around so y'all can see me. So we can find the T-post and start rolling this wire up. So here we go.
Alright, so we're going to be tying the hook to here. And we'll be right back. Okay, so we tied the chain onto there, and we got the chain tied onto there, and I need to clear this so I don't get taken out. Okay. we've got the end of the fence right here. So everything's clear. So the next step is we're gonna go and we're gonna take off the fence posts and find which ones we can to reuse. This one right here looks pretty good. It's still pretty straight. That one might be salvageable. It's all right. This one looks pretty good.
Now we can go find all the T-posts and cut them out, and then we can just roll it up, just like a cinnamon roll. Ooh, those tape. I bet this roll will be pretty good right now. All right, let's find T-posts. Cut this sucker off. Ooh, that one's a little thicker.
Is that all of them?
One more, I think. All right.
Ouch, hold on. Okay. You see how bent that is. So, we're both wearing boots. It's rattlesnake season, and we don't want to add rattlesnake bites to our adventure today because we've got enough of it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take off the rest of these and then go from there. All right, so we've taken off all of the T-posts, and Brandon's gonna try to roll this up and to knock off some of the junk that's in the fence. Our local transfer station has a metal recycle, so we'll just dump this in there. We were hoping to salvage the wire, but it's such a hot mess that it's just not worth the time and effort to do that. Plus, it's already got multiple breaks in it, so putting in nice, clean, new fence, there's advantage to that as well. So, Brandon's new camera is in the mail. This one only has 5%, so instead of filming the whole process, which, come on, to be honest, it's kind of boring, we're just going to do snapshots. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. So we're going to repeat the same process over here to get this wire out of the way. And then Brandon's going to come out and take this fence right here out. And then we'll do the same thing over there. And then we're going to put some H braces in along here and reconnect the fence to over there. So that's the plan. So I'm going to get cutting. So here's the final product, and we're going to get it loaded on into the bucket. See if I can help get this loaded on without getting stuck in it or stuck by it. So tetanus shots are important. I don't know if we've got enough mass. Let's see if that'll work. Okay. Very good. Alright. Have a good night.
Alright, we're down here at the side of the road. We've got the fence line pulled out. And I got all the wire off these H braces. And now we're going to pull these T-posts out. Or not these T-posts, sorry, these railroad ties. So we're going to pull those guys out and see if this tractor will pull them out. Sometimes it can, sometimes it can't. And if not, we'll go get the skid steer I do have to be careful because when I was taking the wrap off of this yesterday, I had a rattlesnake buzz at me. It came out of the hole and then down into the hole. And so I've got my pants and boots on today as an encaser because I haven't had a chance to come mow all this stuff yet. And you wear higher boots, so if you get bit, they hit the leather, not your leg. And so that's kind of the thought behind that. So anyways, we'll get a chain hooked up and we'll see if this tractor will pull out these railroad ties. All right, so we got our chain wrapped around. And, sorry, we'll, I gotta put you down for a second. I gotta lift this chain up and then I can hook it to the bucket here. All right, here we go. Here it comes. Ba-boom. Awesome. All right, so now we're gonna go drive the tractor and we're gonna make a little wood pile right here. And we're just gonna repeat this process till I get these all pulled out. And then after we get these posts pulled out, we're gonna go hook up well, actually we're gonna get all this junk out of here and then we'll go hook up the Ferguson, bring the bush hog through here, get all this grass cut out, and then that'll get us prepped and ready to start doing the dirt work to break this bank down and fill the dirt back in. And then we should be ready to start rebuilding this fence. All right, so we got the T-post, or sorry, not the T-post, golly. We got the railroad ties taken out. Now I've got a chain hooked to this string of fence here. We're gonna see if we can just pull it out. Get it out of the grass, out of the weeds and all that stuff. It goes all the way over to there. We'll get it out and then we'll roll it up. Looks like my chain came undone. May need to find a better attachment spot for it. All right, take two. New attachment point, here we go. That fence is pretty heavy. It's got all that debris and junk on it. Oh, come on, tractor. Pull that thing out of there. Might have to get a little tug. There we go. Oh, it's attached to a T-post. Still attached to a T-post. See if we can break that one too. I don't think so. May have to go cut that one out. One more time. All right, I'm gonna go cut that thing out. All right, well, I was able to give it one more yank and was able to drag it out of there. So now, this is how I had it attached through the fence and then looped it around. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll the fence up and we're gonna start hauling all of our junk up to the top of the house there, up to the house there. And then we'll get the Ferguson with the bush hog on it. And we can see if we can start cutting some grass. I'm watching the clouds here. I don't like being out here in the field with these clouds, you know, rolling in or whatever. So we just kind of pay attention to that kind of stuff. But we'll at least see if we can get this rolled up and take a load up to the top of the house. All right, we're headed up the road with our first load of wire. And we got a couple more loads to go. So we'll be back and forth a few times. All right, so we got all our wire taken out and now we've got to get all of these railroad ties loaded up. And I'm gonna try to do it all in one shot. So when we come back next, we'll have the Fergie with the bush hog on it. right, well, we've got it loaded. Took me 2 tries. Got a chain around it to help. And I guess we'll just see what it's gonna do when we lift it up. It should all fold back into the bucket. Who knows? Here we go. And here we go. Get some bumps on it, see what it wants to do. I'm gonna fold it forward just a touch, get a little pressure on that chain maybe. Maybe not, I don't know. We're just taking it nice and slow. Well, we made it on the first try, which I was pretty surprised about. We'll come over here to our railroad tie pile. We need to take the pressure off this chain, about like so. Oh, come on. I may need 2 hands for this. Ouch! There we go. We'll get this guy out of the way. We'll burn him this winter. All right, now we can dump our railroad ties. Like so. We'll drive out so we can get that chain out from underneath it instead of trying to break our backs and pull it out. All right. Now we'll go put this back, and we need to go get the Ferguson fired up and get the bush hog on it, and we'll run down and cut it. And that'll put us in a pretty good spot to then get the skid steer out to start rebuilding that bank. So put this away, we'll go get the Ferguson. All right, we got the Ferguson going. We got the bush hog connected. And we're basically just gonna mow all of this down about 10 feet away from the fence or so. That way we can see what we're doing and keep the snakes away a little bit maybe, or at least see them if they're there or whatever. So this has a direct drive clutch, so I gotta put the clutch in, put it in gear, and then the back of it starts going. So it's a little 1950s to drive. Basically we'll lower this down a little bit, maybe about so. Take off and it goes too. All right, here we go again. One more time pull the rest of those T-posts out. Then we can bring the skid steer down, start bringing in the rest of the dirt and whatnot. So that's a pretty good chunk done today. We'll pick this up. We'll pick this back up again in a couple of days.